and welcome to episode 17 of Lost in Immersion, your weekly 45-minute stream about innovation. As VR and AR veterans, we'll discuss the latest news of the immersive industry. Let's go. So, we are not on Wednesday anymore, we are not now on Tuesday. So, it would be our new day for our stream. So, just change your calendar, please. And Fabien, let's go.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so my topic for today is a new paper, a research paper that came in last week, a few days ago. And the title is Seeing the World Through Your Eyes. So basically, the idea is that by using the reflection inside the eyes, they are trying to reproduce what you are actually seeing, just from a single image or from a few images. So you can see some examples that they are showcasing here. Um, of course, as you can see, it's a very rough reconstruction of the image, of the scene. Um, but you can see that they managed to have already kind of impressive results. Um, and so you see a few more examples here. So first they are doing some position optimization and some texture optimization. So I think it's, as you can see, it's still the very early stage, but it's interesting to look at what this can become in the future, and all the good things that might come from it, and also the privacy concerns that might arise if, of course, anybody can will be able, of course, if we go very far in the future, to reconstruct the scene just from an eye, the eye image, and so see they tried that as well on some music videos with not so good results, it seems, but I'm sure that as the technology improves, it will get better and better. And actually, so on the, I did a bit of research on the privacy concerns about that, and there were already some case of stalkers that managed to find a star just by looking at the reflection. So there was no technology there. It was just, looking through the eyes reflection on a very high definition picture of a star. So yeah, I'm very curious to know what you think about how this could be applied, the use case that there can be, and also the not so the concerning usage of this. Um, Seb, maybe?
Yes, I was trying to remember the sci-fi movie where I saw that with perfect reconstruction of the 3D scene, and it's always funny to see what is the status we are at now compared to what they show in the movie. And I agree with you. It's for the privacy. If they manage to get a better result, that start to be annoying if we have to, for each picture we take, to remove the eyes or put something else in the eyes to be safe on the privacy part. That start to be a pain. Uh, but yeah, it's interesting to see a new investigation in something new. What about you, Guillaume?
Well, I guess we are maybe 10 or 20 years after the most of the CSI episodes where they were decompressing the pixels to find out the killer through the rebound of the light in different windows and so on. Yeah, and the reflection in the eyes. Do you know if they are using some kind of AI at some point for doing that, or maybe it could be a in some kind of improvement in their methods?
That's a very good point. I didn't go that far uh, at looking at the technology, but I'm sure that generative AI can play into that. Yeah.
But yeah, I heard about what you said. I guess it was PewDiePie, but it was not in their eyes. It was in the reflection in some window to find out where they were living, and they found their apartment by doing so in one of his video or picture. And indeed, they had to blur any kind of window in their in their stream after that to be sure that no one could find out where they live. Um, yeah, it of course it's a privacy concern, but at some point, what can you do despite uh, just displaying a white picture or an avatar, for example? Maybe it could be one way of bringing the avatar mode inside our um, virtual conversation. Wait, I don't know how you can avoid this. Just but yeah, well, the good part is that the technology is not there yet, and I really wonder what are their motivation behind that. Why do they want to see the reflection inside someone's eye, despite the spying thing? And uh, did they explain their motivation behind that, or is just for the pure joy of science and to prove that they can do that? Like I said, like in the movies or the streaming episodes of CSI, for example.
Yeah, from the paper, they don't explain any usage behind. Yeah.
So they are just a bunch of stalkers that they are dreaming of getting where people are living or doing through their eye reflection. Okay. Why not?
And they seem to be using AI because they are speaking about radiance field and training of
Mhm.
radiance field. So that sounds like AI.
Okay, great. So, do you have anything more on this subject, or do you have any more concern?
Yeah, mostly concerns. I don't know if there will be a return to sunglasses or something like that. But yeah, yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, it should be easier to see the reflection in our glasses at some point.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Just one thing about that. The back to the Apple device. Uh, so there are cameras that are looking inside. So if that kind of technology is used in such device, I wonder what this can become. Yeah.
Well, you don't see anything because you have your eyes inside the headset. So I don't know if there are much to see. Uh,
Oh yeah, sorry. I meant like in AR glasses, for example.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Seb, do you want to follow up your
Sure.
with your
On my side, I wanted to talk about a small mixed reality device that just came out. It was announced a couple of months ago, but it just went out and was delivered to developers. So I had some feedback from one of them. So the idea is really a simple headset where you put your iPhone right now. It's not working on Android yet. And there is some lenses to here to spread the video to your eyes, so you can see at the wall environment in front of you naturally. Um, the device, as you can see, is very cheap, but it seems to work apparently quite okay. Uh, you don't have stereo, you have only mono, because there is only one camera on the iPhone. But the controller seems to work apparently great, and the field of view that you get with the device, because it's using the wide camera, or you can plug a small FOV device that you put in front of your camera to have a wider field of view, and then you can interact like this. So the only thing that is a bit annoying is that it's mono, not stereo, so you don't see in 3D, you see only in 2D. But apart from that, it seems like a sitting experience where you display something in front of you at a certain distance seems to work fine. And the quality of the controllers, they are very small. There is no, yeah, this is the thing they sell to if you have only an iPhone, not an iPhone Pro. So you can plug it on your camera and have a wider field. And they manage apparently to have like a natural field of view. So when your hand is out of the view and coming in the view, you can see that there is no distortion of the environment in front of you. So I think that's interesting. Now, if you add the price of the iPhone and the price of the device, that start to be more expensive than the Quest 3, but at least it exists right now. And the Quest 3 is not released. So yeah, I wonder what is your point of view of that. Fab?
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that there was an era of cardboard. So this like cardboard built when we are putting the phones inside for VR, and now we are seeing. I think in our first episode, Seb, you showed us a similar
Mm.
device to this one. It's interesting. We are in kind of the plastic, not cardboard era for mixed reality. And yeah, it's very interesting to see. There are a lot of people with iPhones already, so I don't know what the use case will be for this. But it's very interesting to see that there are cheaper options available, and the controller seems to work with computer vision. I'm not sure how they work.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. It's a
So
mix.
I think that will. Yeah.
It's a mix between sensor inside and the computer vision.
Okay. Yeah, it's a clever. Interested to see if to test it actually to see if it works well.
I think the main issue right now is that they use the wide camera, and so they are not able to use ARKit on top of that. So right now they are stuck with controllers and a marker that you put on your table, and are saying in the developer area of their website that they are working on having ARKit working with the device, so you can have hand tracking and use the physical space in front of you to have interaction with it. Guillaume, any thoughts?
Yeah, I was making some research on the side at the same time because this kind of device reminds me of the Nolo VR when you had it tracking to your you could add tracking to your cardboards or plastic one at some point. I know that this is not the first and only initiative to do this kind of devices, cheap devices. And the concern I have is that this kind of devices never really found their market,
Mm.
because at some point, I guess people are looking at or are seeking the real experience. And I was just checking that Nolo is now doing a complete VR headsets and AR headsets as well. So we can see that the approach of adding just the tracking or some VR or AR features to your um, cell phones is not enough, apparently. Uh, and all these other competitors or companies that did this kind of devices when there was the cardboard slash Kickstarter era of VR, when a lot of companies were doing cheap cheap products to make VR and AR easier for people to discover. I guess we are past this period when people were trying to find any kind of devices that would make them experience VR and AR.
Mm.
Now they know what this is, they know what it can do, and their expectation is higher than just having like you said, just a monoscopic experience that is
Mm.
not uh, as comfortable as it could be with a Quest or any kind of AR or mixed reality headset. So yeah, maybe they are 5 years too late regarding the VR and AR timeline. But why? Maybe they can hop on the train of the Apple Vision Pro, and maybe some people will be curious to try this.
Mm.
But once again, I guess the experience is not as good as it should be, and it can bring some people down on saying that whoa, it's just that, or AR is not as advanced as they would like us to believe, and it could be worse than not than just having people wait for the real devices, if I can
Mm.
say that. Yeah.
And
So
one thing that apparently is interesting that they find a way to have the device really only the device in front of you, so you can see on the side and have a peripheral view of your environment, which seems for me the best way to do this kind of headset right now.
and
So,
did you order this to try, or just you
no,
took
some
another?
a friend from in France bought it and tried it and gave me his feedback.
Okay. And so for you, do you think this could be an option for trade shows or large venues for you to make some application with that, or?
I will need to test it to
Mhm.
see the result and see what could be the use case for this. Because renting an iPhone Pro is quite easy in France, at least, or in the US. And if the device is working, then maybe there is some use case where the quality is enough and the price is right for the client. So I think we should buy one and see how it looks. But
But what
compared to the Holo kit, so that
Mhm.
was the one I talked at the first
Yeah.
one of the first podcast. This one works in real time. You don't have delay, so you can work together with someone else on something, and that's what could be interesting. Because buying two Quest Pro, two device is always will be more expensive than renting two iPhone and buying that device.
Yeah, one thing that is interesting and maybe is a new trend, we can see that there is no way of hiding the view of the user on the side. And
Mm.
as you said with the links, for example, maybe they found out that opening the field of view, especially when you are doing AR or mixed reality, is bringing a better field of view, which even if it's not covered by the augmentation. But it's funny to see that now we don't have these plastic part on the side, and we are opening the field of view for the user. So it's
Mm.
interesting to see this new approach as well.
That's what Stan Larocque said in his video, that they did
Mm.
iteration and they found out that it was more comfortable for the user to have his peripheral view always active, because right now we don't have a way to have a really feeling completely the field of view of the natural eyes. So
Yeah, if you had the 1:1 ratio, it should be more comfortable. But if you have
mm,
some kind of distortion,
yeah, that distort
uh,
completely the effect.
it would be awful.
Mm.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Fabien, do you have anything more to say about this?
Yeah, maybe just a question is, do we think that this kind of device are actually a bit deserving the image of, as you were saying, Guillaume, was how immersive can mixed reality be, um, and by offering an easy, cheap device for first experience, but at least it's there and giving some people the opportunity to try VR. So a bit like balance between the two.
Okay, so I'll go with my subject now. Just let me. So I'll be talking about the latest news about the Apple Vision Pro. During some of my research, I found that this website. I'll put the link in the description. It's someone that is doing a lot of breakdowns, tear downs of AR headsets, and right now they are just trying to find out what could the VR the Apple Vision Pro could be, and what kind of issue it could bring on before the release of the headsets itself. So there are three different points he would like to he's talking about, and I would like to share with you. The first one is that about the placement of the main cameras. They reflect about this, and they found out that by having the main cameras uh, placed on below the eyes, the real eyes of the users, they could have some difficulties making the focal adjustment and convergence of the video rendering. And as he mentioned, everybody was stoked about the Apple Vision Pro demos, but as he mentioned, you can barely see any kind of default or issue with a new VR or AR headset when it's 30 minutes demonstration. So they are talking about these placements that could be an issue, especially when you are trying to catch a real object through the headset. So they are really waiting to see what Apple can do with that, because they will have to do some kind of offsets and correction to have the correct angle of vision with this. So first part of this. Second part, so there is a lot of explanation about this. Next, yeah, next, this is they try to calculate the field of view of the Apple Vision Pro, and regarding the device and the kind of lenses they are using. They are they think that the field of view should be 120 degree for the Apple Vision Pro versus the 52 degrees for the HoloLens 2. However, on the global field of view, it's it's 220-degree because we are on a see-through device, so we have this peripheral vision that you don't have with the Apple Vision Pro because the vision is blocked by the headsets itself. So on the AR scale, it's much better than the HoloLens 2. However, it's just on the normal field of view for a VR headsets, for example, for a Meta Quest Pro or 3. So not that impressive on this part. It's way less than the Pimax, for example. And so we'll see what can be done with that. And the last part is about the weight distribution. They analyzed some photo of people that tried the headsets for the 30 minutes demonstration. They found out those uh, concerning marks of having something pushing on the user's face. And by some calculation and so on, they determined that the headsets were 450 grams, so barely half a kilo on the nose, because you don't have any kind of support of or balance on the other side of the head. And apparently, in some footage, we can see a strap on the head of the users. But I'm a bit, yeah, I don't really know about the what is the use of this strap, because if you want to put the weight back from the front to the back of the head, you should have a strap right there, like we had on any kind of VR headsets for quite some years now. So I don't know why they use this strap there, as the weight is obviously more on the nose and the forehead of the person. And just for a reminder, the HoloLens and the Meta Quest Pro have this kind of balanced design, which are making them comfortable, as you mentioned, Seb, I guess 1 or 2 podcasts ago. And even if they are heavier with a 722 and 566 grams, their design seems to be better and more. The reflection about this seems to be better than with the Apple Vision Pro. So very interesting, very nice website with a lot of information. Once again, it's deduction and guess, so we have to take this with some caution. But it's interesting to see that people are very are reflecting right now about this VR headset, and that beside the whole hype about this, there are lots of technical concern and technical choice of what of how people made their headsets. And just to come back to the placement of the cameras, they are just saying that on this part, because when you are seeing all the mixed reality headset, the cameras are indeed placed where the user's eyes are. And on this point, we can see that Apple prefer their outside screen to be developed um more than the official placement of the lenses. And this is quite the same about the design of the headset itself. As we mentioned, that we thought that the Apple Vision Pro should be in carbon fiber for a better weight optimization, and they prefer to stick to the metal and glass. So it's really fun to see that Apple is more on the design part than on the technical one right now. So we'll see if they are changing their mind at some point. So what do you think about these guys? Fabien?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Um, so yeah, indeed, as you are saying, it's really interesting to see the choices that they made, like the outside screen instead of having the centered camera. the weight, the weight balance, instead of having the battery, for example, at the back, or having a strap. Um, so it raises a lot of interesting questions to see why did they choose that? Why did they make these um, questionable choices? Do they think that the outside screen is so important? It's a critical feature that they are willing to sacrifice maybe sacrifice some depth perception, and is the object itself, the quality of the materials, so important that they are willing to sacrifice our neck. um, that's that's yeah, that is really very interesting questions. I'm very much looking forward to test it. And I don't know, do you know if Apple is really saying that the device that was tested is actually the one that will be in production, or if they have like
No, no, there is
we
no
don't know.
information about this, and this is why
Mm,
people are now thinking that there may be some evolution of the headset at some point. Because, as we said, they don't have a real production line for this headset. So it's still like handmade if is not the case, but at some point it could be. So maybe they are because if you can remember, still a few weeks ago, we had some question about are they really releasing the headsets as they were willing to in June. Some people were talking about September, so maybe they are just buying some time um, and see what the product will be released next year, because it's in a year that will have that developers and professional and wealthy people will get their hand on the headset. So I guess at this point they can still do some improvement of the headsets, and we saw that if I can remember correctly, on the first iteration of the Oculus slash Meta quests, we had some strap and weight and some final adjustment on the headset before they were released. So I think this was a real a test, crash test or test drive for them to see what there would be the reaction of the people, of the public. And those huge demonstration that they did with the headsets, they were just writing down what people were thinking about the headsets, and for them to make some adjustment. And apparently, the guy that is making this blog is saying that sometimes there are some Apple and Microsoft technicians and developers are looking at what they are saying, and there's some kind of discussion between them. So maybe at some point they are trying to listen to what more technical peoples are saying, and they can do some adjustment. But regarding the placement of the lenses, I don't know how they can improve that, because it would be sacrificing their front display with the eyes, and as it is their main sale sale value. I don't know how they could discard that at some point. The weight can be improved, of course, and those straps could be placed. They can add this without making huge compromises, by saying, oh, if you found the headsets too heavy, you can use these straps, but it's not mandatory. Yeah, they can do something about this, but on the lenses placement, I can't see how they can do that. They
Same
can't
on
change the whole design at this point, but you
mm,
can do some minor improvement. Yeah.
same for the peripheral vision. I don't see how they could remove the
Oh yeah, I just
mask
I forgot
effect.
something. About the peripheral vision, yeah, you can see there that they bought the Limback company that is making lenses, especially the Lynx lenses, which are called the freeform multi-channel and with this very particular shape. And apparently, Apple would be using what they are calling the super pancake lenses. However, they are just saying that Apple don't want to say the word pancake just to not make to be like the VR headsets. So this is so talking about a new technology, but they are talking about, yeah, catadioptric lenses, which basically are uh, a new way of making pancakes lenses. So they are just bringing some new terms, but this is basically the same technology. There is no real breakthrough. It's just an evolution of the pancake lenses regarding the companies they bought. But just a question about this is that if they bought the company that is making the Lynx lenses, I guess it should be a concern because at some point this is a competitor for them. So I don't know if they'll be still getting their lenses from them at some point.
So it's really for the next generation of the headset, right? Not for this one.
This is yeah, for this one, yeah.
Mm.
Regarding at some point in the video they showed us the lenses, and it was a stack of three different lenses, and by regarding that they found out it was a new way of doing a pancake, which they are calling the super pancake lenses. But apparently there are no real improvement about the field of view. It's more about the quality of the view inside these lenses. So Seb, do you have
Yeah,
anything more to add
understand
about this?
better than that. Stanhope was saying that he was happy with the announcement and everything he saw about the headset because he feel like they made on the Lynx better decision from start
Mm-hmm.
in terms of optics, in terms of placement of the camera, in terms of weight balance, keeping the peripheral vision of the user. So and the end tracking that they got really well with the Immersion embedded into the headset. So yeah, that's definitely interesting to see that Apple has moved in the same direction.
Mm. Yeah, if you are doing the comparison between the Vision Pro and the Lynx R1, I guess at this point the Lynx headsets they have more advantages than the Vision Pro on the spec. The only concerns about the computation power. We know that the Apple headsets has the M2
Mm,
chipset and the R1 as well. They just have a Snapdragon, I guess, on the Lynx R1.
that's right.
Um, and when we are seeing, we're comparing the resolution and some very uh, very precise aspect, they are of course less than the Apple one, but on the overall experience and price and so on, I guess the Lex really had they really have a chance right there on the market.
Mhm.
And once again, as I said last week, my main concern about them is for them to be able to provide the headsets to the consumer. um,
Mm,
they will have a large amount of headsets to deliver in a very short period of time,
mm,
and it's very very concerning for them. It's a good problem, but it's still a problem, and we know that. Um, I just hope that they can go behind that. um, and once again, the best thing that could be happening for them is maybe to be bought by Apple at some point. But it really depends on how they are seeing this company. If it's a very hard competition, or and it also depends on the price of the company at some point. But yeah, they have a big competitors in front of them in by the in the name of Apple. Yeah,
Mm.
but it's very motivating for them, I guess, to see that they have a chance on the market and they could be blowing on this at some point and become a huge player in the VR world, like Vario did. Even if the Vario timeline is larger than the Lynx one, because they took about 10 years to get there. But
Mm.
yeah, it's very interesting to see small European company making these VR headsets.
Mm. About
Javier.
the interaction of the Meta Quest Pro, I don't know if you saw that news, but it seems the Vision Pro, sorry, the eyes gaze and pinch interaction. I don't know if you saw that news, but there is now a couple of developers that working on their app to add that kind of interaction inside the Quest Pro, for example, using the eye tracking and the finger tracking to do the same kind of interaction. And it seems to work great. It has been implemented quite rapidly. So we were talking about that, I think, 2 weeks ago, and now it's already there and already implemented. So
Yeah, but about the eye tracking, it's very weird that they took this off the Quest 3 because apparently a lot of new of new interactions are based on eye tracking, and I guess it's a mistake by Meta for them to discard this technology inside their Quest 3 because they are missing the train here, and especially if if developers and application are adapting to this kind of interaction, they are just yeah missing a new they are missing the train of this new market and new
mm,
kind of interactions because as in this article and in this blog the guy is telling that on the specification comparison the Quest Pro is just out of the picture right now because they are not on the same page as the Lynx or the Apple Vision Pro. So the Quest Pro is already obsolete at this point. So their new iteration is the Quest 3, and the Quest 3 doesn't have the eye tracking. So it's very weird. There's a I guess they made a mistake, technical mistakes on this.
mm.
Fabien, anything more?
Yeah, I was doing some research two things. One is I wonder if the choice of material is related to heat. I don't know, like the having two CPUs in the device in the front maybe is causing some heat. And I don't know. I don't have any knowledge in materials and stuff like that, so I don't know if carbon fiber is has maybe problems with heat.
Oh, it's a
Um,
solution. This is why the HoloLens 2 is embedding some kind of carbon fiber as well, because it's a good way of not feeling the heat, and it's a great heat dissipator. This is used mainly used for racing as well. This is why cars and motorcycle integrate some carbon fiber and Kevlar parts inside their structure is for the weight and heat distribution as well. So this was
good.
the real
So
solution at some point. Carbon fiber should have been the choice to have something lighter and also for I saw another video bringing back the journey of the HoloLens 2, and they chose carbon fiber as well for shock absorption when the headset is falling on the ground. The deformation. Oh, sorry. Are you still there? Yeah.
Yes.
yep.
Oh yeah, some issue at some point. Yeah, well, the weight, the shock absorption is better with carbon fiber as well. So there's no No good point of choosing metal and glass at this point.
While they wanted, I think, high quality material, strong for the user, and to differentiate
Mm.
them from from
Yeah.
all the other brands that does plastic only.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah,
yes,
it's
that.
really design first and
Mm,
yeah, the technological part in second place.
Yeah, and one last thing is it's amazing how the world spatial computing
Mm.
has blown up. It's now in every, I think, every publication on blogs or social networks. Instead of talking about metaverse, they are now using spatial computing instead.
Mm-mm.
So it's amazing to see the power of marketing power of Apple.
The same about mixed reality as well. This is a new word used for all video see-through headsets and so on. Nobody is talking about augmented reality anymore. So
mm,
a new word to add to our vocabulary, and yeah, we it's the same with XR. I guess XR completely disappeared as well.
mm,
It didn't. It was not used by the bigger player, and then just it's some kind of disappear. And we can ask the future about the WebXR, OpenXR initiative. Do they will they change their name once again after the OpenVR and WebVR? So we'll see what people are doing. But because I guess the mixed reality was Microsoft. I don't know if they patented the name, but at some point it was the Microsoft initiative with their VR and AR headsets. It was all
mm.
brings to inside the mixed reality term. So I don't know why they are bringing this up again. Okay, so we are past our time, but yeah, we continue this kind of a very interesting discussion next week. So see you guys next Tuesday at 6 a.m. for me, and you make the calculation for you guys as well. But yeah, see you next time, and thanks again for this awesome podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.